Hi, I'm Dave Russell. This is our first online clinic using Zoom. So welcome. We're going to cover quite a few things today, starting with groundwork. We're going to talk about balance and lightness and how it helps your horse relax. So every time your horse is balanced and relaxed, you'll get a perfect stride that you require for any discipline. In the afternoon, we're going to break it down for on the horse's back, ridden work. We're going to show you the different rein lengths, the different rein positions, leg positions, and all the basics that you need for your fundamentals going forward. Hope you enjoy it. We'll talk to you soon. See ya. Had my rein too long, for instance. Is that camera got me as well, by the way, or my other screen? Okay, so for my rein was just a little bit long. It's not really long, but that's a really long forearm if I grab it there. Let's take the flex around and just see what happens. I've just caused him to go on his inside front leg. And you can see from that angle right there, hang on, hold on. He's all over the front as well. So he's struggling to stand still, he needs to stand still. So it's okay. If it was the first time I did it, I go, well, it's okay, but long term I'd have to come back and fix that because I've allowed him to kind of go over the front and bend his neck. A lot of this stuff that I'm going to talk about, you won't actually see the benefit of it until you get into a trot. You won't even notice it so much in a standstill. You'll go, well, he's pretty light when he flexes on the ground standing still. And then you'll go, he's pretty light in a walk. I can get it all in a walk. But it goes to SH1-2 when I go for a trot. So what's happened there? It all fell apart when I went to go for a trot. So you don't really see the massive loss of balance until they trot. So if you can trust me and just listen to the fact that it's a forearm's length, it's going to save a lot of time keeping the horse's front end up for later on. So that's actually a pretty good bend right there. He's actually going to step further with his back end around all by himself. Stand there, mate. So you'll get this with your greener horse. He's looking for a way. He's trying to find the answer. He's kind of like, yeah, there's the bend. How do I straighten? Can I just walk around it? Can I get out of it? But mine with my rein and I use my leg with at the same time is actually going to get my horse softer into the contact. So when we ride, think about that. It's not just pick up the rein and hope that they're going to get soft. It'll be a combination of feel of the rein and my leg will get the horse soft by moving the horse's shoulders, ribs or hips. In this case, I'm moving the hips. So if you'd like to see the position, it's pretty obvious, but my girth would be here, my leg would be here, and I'd slightly put it a little bit behind the girth, and I'd ask for the horse to move his hindquarters around. So just there you can see him dropping his pole. Now I'm going to fix that because one day I'm going to ride this horse. He hasn't been ridden yet, but one day I'm going to ride this horse and I'd like him to know the position of lightness when I trot him. So just as he dropped his head, it's not a big deal right now, but it will be when I ride him. So keep that in mind. It's pretty quiet, he's pretty cute actually. All right, of course I do both sides. Use my eyes and I just look at his hip. I'd keep his hand open if he wasn't leaning on the rein. If he did lean on the rein, you'd see me close his fingers until he got off the rein, and then I'd open it again. Good. If I want to stop him, I'm going to look up, breathe out, and then rub him because he did stop. I always like to go to the end of my rope and drop the loop down and give the horse a reward. You can just see how he feels about all that. Does he lower his head? Does he lick and chew? Does he relax? It's really important that you give him that moment after you've done an exercise. Now it's really important once I pick his pole up that I release again and go, now you hold it yourself. Same thing when you ride them. Yes, you might hold them up, show them position, but then give it back to them and go, you hold the lightness yourself. It might only stay there for one stride and then it'll disappear. So that's pretty normal. You'll just have to do it again. All right, so that's one of the things I'd like to do. I'd like to pick the pole up. Once my horse can pick up his pole and he's got a bend, I might actually want to just, going to sound a little different, but I want to lift kind of in line with the wither. So now once he's soft in the jaw, I kind of want to lift the wither. If he's not dropping his head, my hand here is in line with the wither. I'm going to kind of lift it up. Here he's just dropping his pole a little bit, so I'm going to help his pole. Alright? So you can see, I can feel this horse drifting out through his shoulder. So he'd be a horse I'd need to bring his shoulder back towards me a little bit more to take care of that outside front foot. Now, with all of this, I haven't even spoken about the back feet. I've got to talk about the back feet. But you can see a lot going on with the front end. So most of what I've been talking about is the leaning on the shoulders, over the front, etc., etc. So with the back legs, I want the hind leg to step under. I don't know if you can see me from there. Can you see my legs from there? Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to be able to get your horse's hind legs to step under for balance and relaxation. If they're stepping sideways, it's defensive. If they're stepping backwards, it's really defensive. So you might find your horse will go defense, defense, submissive, defense, really defense, submissive. That's okay. Stop on a submissive or balanced step and reward that. And what will happen is you'll start to get your horse more and more relaxed, and you'll sneak up on more and more balanced steps as you go. So just keep an eye on, in particular, the inside back leg right now. Alright, so every single one of those steps was a balanced step underneath his belly. It didn't seem like he was leaning over the front too much, so it wasn't too bad. So that was an example of pretty good for a green horse. Pretty happy with that. Guess what that actually did? That caused the lightness again in my hand. So at this point, I want to be able to control the shoulders. So I drop my handle down towards his shoulder. I ask for his shoulder to go out. Ask for his shoulder to go out until his neck comes in a little bit. There. I'm waiting for the lightness now. So there he goes. So physically he put his head in. Emotionally he was still leaning on the rein. So if you want lightness in balance, you better wait for both. You better wait for the head to come in, there, and get him, wait till he goes really light off the rein. So I'm talking to the shoulder right now, there. So he's going to come in and out of that because he's pretty green. The next thing I want to do is talk to the ribs. So I'm going to violin, I'm going to touch, get those ribs to the outside. So how do I go through my phases so I don't just attack him? I'm going to show him, I'm going to put rhythm, I'm going to touch lightly, and then I might have to tap until he gets his ribs off me. And as soon as he does, I'm going to leave him alone. So I don't come in at phase 4, I just build the pressure until I get the desired result. And when he gives it to me, he gets the answer by relaxing and just giving it back to him. Then ask for that rib again, ask him to go forward, good. So the last thing, and this is the trickiest one, I need the hip. So this is the one that most people struggle with. I've got to keep my rope hand, my leading hand, from the thumb up to the little finger forward. Now I don't want my arms straight because that means lengthen my horse. I don't want that right now. That means go forward even into a trot. I don't want that right now. So I keep my arm bent, but my forearm rotates. And as I do that, I'm going to ask for the hip to go out. I've got to keep feeling the rein, but ask the hip to go out a little further, Good, a little bit more forward there. So I'm going to keep going until he goes light off the rein. So the further the horse's hip goes out, there, he just went light off the rein. He stopped, so that was a brace. If I was riding him, my little colt just then, that would have been a buck probably. So I need to take care of that before I ride him. So I'm going to ask for the hip to go out again. Good. A little more forward. Keep the hip out. Wait till he goes light off the rein, just there. And then I give it back to him. So I won't hold it. So already you can see bend and balance with this horse. you've got bend and balance and lightness. So yeah, he's good. So I'm going to stop him now. I'm going to roll it round towards his hocks until he gives me a couple of sideways steps. I'm going to let him sit on that and go, good boy, that was really cool. So really cool thing for a young horse, keeping it quiet and allowing him to learn.